I turned the age of 18, I had a really life-changing experience in participating in the 2000 United States presidential election. It was my first election. I turned 18 in 2000. It was my first election, and it ended up being the most controversial election, I think, in United States history. We had Al Gore and George Bush going toe for toe in the debates. Really, a lot of interest from the American people in voting in that election. So there's a lot of controversy about who really won that election. And me as a voter, I wanted an opportunity to really gain transparency into that election, and didn't have an opportunity to do so. So I saw that as kind of a problem, and something that I really hoped one day that I could be a part of a solution to that problem. So it really got me to question authority, I guess, in a sense, and really kind of seek out truth. I really wanted to know who truly won that election, just out of curiosity alone. So I graduated from Virginia Tech in 2004 with a degree in marketing management. Shortly after I graduated, I moved down to Florida and got involved with an internet marketing agency. At the time, the industry was just getting started. So I had an opportunity to enter an internet marketing agency with virtually no experience, learn firsthand, and work with a very small team to build up our expertise and actually scale out our division of this internet marketing agency from the ground up. I learned about all forms of internet marketing: search engine marketing, search engine optimization, display advertising, social media, really the whole nine. And again, this was at a time where everything was kind of just getting started. I was there for about 7 years, and really we grew from a department of 4 people all the way to about 30 strong. And I took on an operations role, and when it was training people as they came in the door, managing them, and really leading the team. I became somewhat of the backbone for that division. So a lot of good first-hand business experience. Throughout my career there, I had always had a yearning to do my own thing. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. I had an idea to develop a software application that could connect the people to their elected officials and work with their elected officials to ensure that when our elected officials vote in Washington, their votes are much more representative of the people, and really solve that problem that it seemed most Americans have in being really dissatisfied with the performance of their government. At that point, with the idea in hand, I decided to quit my day job, decided to move back to Blacksburg and start Follow My Vote. That's when I ran into Daniel Larimer, and it was introduced to the concept of BitShares and how we could work with BitShares to develop a transparent voting system that could not only be used in elections, but could also poll people on issues and help get that information to our government I think they so desperately need, in order to ensure that when they do vote, they are doing their jobs and they are representing the will of the people. We are actively searching for opportunities to showcase our innovative voting solutions to the world. We're looking for partners that want to leverage a open source, transparent voting system that allows anyone participating in an election to follow their vote into the ballot box and ensure that their vote was actually counted as cast, and be able to really audit the results of that entire election and confirm that the results overall are accurate. So we've developed a provably honest election system, and we're looking for partners that want to use it. So we want to be able to demonstrate our proof of concept so that we can gain support from a larger population, hopefully one day the population of the United States, to use our voting system in government-backed elections. We're also looking at other countries as well and trying to figure out if there's opportunities to pilot our system, whether in an official or unofficial way. A good example of that is the Pirate Party. We were recently contacted by the Pirate Party of Norway, interested in using our voting system to help them build consensus for their faction of the Pirate Party. The Pirate Party exists in 61 countries throughout the world. At a high level, they have a lot of interesting ideals. They're all for transparency, accountability in government, freedom of information sharing, net neutrality, things like that. Really focused on taking advantage of technology and improving the democratic process, and just finding ways to allow technology to improve our lives in general. Their particular party in Norway is just really getting started, and they're looking at the Follow My Vote voting system, not only because it appeals to their ideals in a lot of different ways, using a system such as ours. They are looking at it as potentially a consensus building tool to allow them to build consensus around the issues that the people of Norway are actually facing, in their day-to-day lives, and really form an opinion around the issues and what issues really matter most to them. What should their focus be in the near term? They really want to use it to serve as an example for the people of Norway, and hopefully be successful in leveraging that system the way that they anticipate being able to do so, and really push for the adoption of this system by their government. So really cool angle that they're taking in Norway. But at this point, we've really created interest not only internationally but here. We have worked with elected officials and voting registrars out in California to gauge interest in using our voting system in elections. California recently passed a bill, Senate Bill 360, that allows registrars to pilot open source voting systems to be used in elections, in real US-backed elections. However, there isn't really an opportunity right now for them to use an online solution. So they're not fully ready in California to implement our system in the public sector for elections. So we've realized after going out in December and demoing our platform for them that they weren't quite ready. The reality is that I think the United States as a whole isn't quite ready. There's legislation really that needs to be passed in several states throughout the country in order for us to start really piloting it. So again, we're shifting our focus to the private sector and seeing how can this be used, not only internationally but in the United States. We have some interest from some political parties right here in Virginia, interested in using our voting solution in their primaries running up to the 2016 presidential election. Political parties aren't necessarily bound by the same rules and regulations as election systems that are used in actually government-sanctioned elections. So they have a lot more freedom, and so we're exploring those opportunities as well. But really, there's a lot more that we can do with it. We've really, at this point, just done an analysis of the traditional voting systems and how a voting application could be introduced in elections, if you will, whether they be government-backed or not. We're also starting to explore the idea of proxy voting and using our system to help companies vote for their shareholders, on a regular basis. Exploring other opportunities for polling and public opinion polling, market research, things like that. I first learned about BitShares when I decided to move back to Blacksburg after a successful career in the internet marketing industry. I moved back to Blacksburg to start my own company, Follow My Vote, and really recruit out of Virginia Tech, my alma mater, and find ways to really give back to the community that helped me achieve success thus far in my career. I was really in search of a scalable, repeatable business model. I mean, we were a true startup at the time, and we're looking for a way to implement our solution a solution that I had envisioned, and be able to profit from that solution, if only to continuing to fund the development of that solution. I really started following my boat to make a difference in the world, not necessarily to become rich. The reality is we all have to keep the lights on. And when I got introduced to the concept of a DAC, I said, wait a minute, this solves so many problems for me. You know, I was at the time trying to build a polling application, a voting system that was secure, that was legitimate, that really truly gave people a voice and made them feel as if their vote, their voice mattered. The aspects of BitShares and being able to do voting on a blockchain and also to provide transparency into an election really satisfied that requirement for me. I said, wow, wait, hold on. You can do voting. I can actually vote in an election and count my vote. My identity can be protected. That's huge. That is a big part of the reason why BitShares made so much sense. The concept of a DAC, or a decentralized autonomous company, is really, really interesting to me. I feel like when trying to start my business, it solved a lot of my problems, and could potentially do the same for other businesses, other business types. If you think about a blockchain, what it really is, it's a database that allows people to store information in an irreversible way. There are a lot of business models that make sense when you think about BitShares, when you think about blockchain technology. And I would encourage any new business owner or entrepreneur to take a little time and research BitShares, understand how blockchain technology works and how they might be able to leverage the BitShares toolkit in order to launch their business, in order to fund their business, in order to operate efficiently and generate a profit. I just want to share with you a little bit about me personally, my outlook on life, and where I see the vision for the future of man, really. I grew up as a military brat. I traveled all around the world. I lived in several different parts of the United States, moving around every few years. At the age of 16, I moved over to Germany and lived in Europe. And I got to travel throughout Europe, and I got to gain experience with various people from all backgrounds, all countries, languages, people that grew up in completely different societies than I was raised in. You know, what I really learned about people is that we're all pretty much the same. You know, we're all citizens of the planet. You know, we all really want the same things in life in order to be happy and to be fulfilled. You know, we really want a roof over our head, you know, food's in our mouth, and clothes on our back. Just fundamental needs in order to live, you know, a happy life. I truly believe, in talking with all the people that I've talked to over the course of my years, that we as people generally agree on much more than we disagree. And I think that we live in a very exciting time where the internet exists. We now have a way to connect with anyone in the world almost instantaneously and share ideas and communicate and share our beliefs and share our opinions. And I think that we are in a position now to really be able to capture the pulse of the people. We have technological solutions that can allow people to vote and to weigh in on certain issues in a secure, in a private way, where people feel free to express themselves, you know. And we have a very interesting opportunity here to um, figure out where what we really are, who we really are, and what we really believe in. And I really want to test my hypothesis. I really want to see, do we really all believe in the majority of the same things? Do we have more in common than we disagree on? You know, the reality is, I think that there's a lot of ways that we're influenced, and there's a lot of friction that's created, and not only in our communities, you know, but between our countries. You know, whether it's influence from the media, whether it's influence from our own government or our neighbors down the street. There are a lot of different things that affect our outlook on life and cause us to be either happy or unhappy with the ways of the world or the way that we are forced to live. So I think that at the end of the day, we all want peace. I mean, we really want to live in a world where we feel free, and in a peaceful world where we don't feel threatened, and an open and an honest world where we can trust in our governments. We can trust in the systems that we use to establish consensus, that we use to document our laws, and that essentially control how we evolve as a society, as a country, and as a world. I think that if we can put the fundamental building blocks in place and put honest systems in place that allow us to express ourselves and allow us to share those opinions without concern that in doing so we could be harmed or get in trouble in any way, but that the truth really will come out, and we can come to an agreement on how to ensure that this world evolves and goes in the direction that we want. So ultimately that we can live in societies that we agree with, you know, that where we feel free, and that ultimately that can really bring about peace. And I'm really focused on this project. I think Follow My Vote could be that project. It could be that system. It could be what gets us at the end of the day to peace, to truth, to freedom, and ultimately to peace here on earth, really. So what gives me hope? I think the best answer to that question would be people. I feel like at one point in my life I felt alone, you know. I felt like there was no one else out there that saw the world quite like I did, or saw the problems that the world has, or was willing to commit to solving a lot of these problems that I thought the world has. When I decided to start Follow My Vote, I said, you know what, I don't care if anyone else is out there. I'm passionate about this and about solving what I believe to be a problem, and I'm just going to roll up my sleeves and I'm going to do it. What really gave me hope and inspired me was the day that I met Daniel Larimer. I found out there's someone else out there like me. There's a very smart person that's passionate about making a big difference in the world, and is willing to do whatever it takes to bring his vision to reality. What gave me even more hope was the technology that he had developed, and the fact that I could use this technology to bring my vision to a reality. You know, it's one thing to have an idea and have a problem, but without a solution, it's tough to really get motivated and really get inspired. You know I think that can only take you so far. But learning about BitShares and learning about, wait a minute, finally there is a technological solution. We've reached an age in history where the internet exists, where people can connect online, where we could build a system, use to leverage technology to bring about our visions for the future. That really inspired me. It gave me a lot of hope that maybe this is possible, you know. And what gave me even more hope was to know that Daniel and I weren't alone. Not only did Daniel build a big team around him of people that were very inspired by his vision and wanted to be a part of the solution to the problem that we saw, he had built an entire community. The BitShares community gives me hope. If you think about it, BitShares is worldwide. There are people that have connected on the BitShares forums, bitsharestalk.org, and they have connected and have been able to share their ideas and their vision for the future and their hopes for the future. This community exists in countries all over the world. You know, I think about 10,000 plus strong people that have similar visions and have a hope for a better future. And being connected with that community not only gives me hope, it gives me strength. And I feel that I don't feel alone anymore. I feel like I'm a part of something big. I feel like we're on the verge of making history, and we're going to be a part of a big movement that changes the world in some amazing ways and really makes this world a better place. I think people should get involved and follow my vote, because there's no one out there doing what we're trying to do. We're really trying to innovate and make a real, not only make a real difference in the world, but bring about a solution to a problem that could really change the world in very major way. We're trying to restore faith in democracy. You know, we are trying to inspire people to vote, to believe in something, and to be able to share those beliefs, so that you matter, your voice matters, and that you can have a say in the direction we go from here. So we're in the initial stages of building a system that will allow everyone to take part and have a voice and a say in the direction in which the world evolves. And I think that's a pretty exciting thing to be a part of. I have committed my life to follow my vote. My mission is to give people a voice and to give people that opportunity. And if you want to get involved, there's a lot of things that you can do. You can go to our website, followmyvote.com. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can sign up for our beta. We're in the process of developing this application. As soon as it's launched, if you want an invite and be one of the first ones to get a peek at what we've been working on, you can sign up for that beta list on our website. There is several social media profiles. We've established an online presence, not just on our website, but on our social media profiles. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. You know, become a fan on Facebook. We're on Google Plus as well. You know, just find a way to connect with us and let us know that you're interested. You know, and we'll find a way to get you involved. Whether it's becoming a fan and just following us, or if it's becoming a volunteer and actually working for the company, or even an intern. There's really internship opportunities on a constant basis. And if you really have some skills to bring to the table, we could even look at creating a position for you here at Follow My Vote. You know, really, if you believe in the vision, you believe in the mission, connect with us and go from there. You could even reach out to me directly. I'll give you my email address. It's adam@followmyvote.com. You know, if you're interested and you want to learn more about Follow My Vote, just send me an email. I'll be happy to tell you all about it.